Hey, Coach, so glad you found us. Couple things. First of all, subscribe. Please go over and do that. That will keep you updated with everything that we're doing. Second thing is go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. If you want to put hardware in your basement, if you want to win more games, let me help you do that. I will give you my personal email address. We'll do one-on-one calls. We'll do office hours, less than $1 a day, 14-day free trial. Go over and check it out. Let's head off to the video.
All right, welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops.
Go Cubs. If you
Go
were
Cubs,
listening,
go.
your
Hey,
coach got a
Chicago, what do you say?
Cubs
Cubs
t-shirt
are
on.
gonna win today. Go Cubs, go. Okay, anyway, all the people, all the St. Louis fans, all the Brewer fans have
We just
just
lost.
lost
Like,
them.
sorry guys.
Yeah, I got a Cubs shirt on for those of you that are listening. Um, it's a disease. A lot of Wisconsin people love the Cubs.
Which it just doesn't make any
It
sense to me.
does. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. And a lot of a lot of people in Iowa also follow the Cubs. Well, part of
That's
that
like
is
liking the Bears.
no, it isn't because my dad, who was born in 1938, no,
Hmm.
1933, he started 33. Anyway, I think it was 33. But anyway, he could only get WGN on the radio. There was no Brewers at that point for Wisconsin. So all
Mm.
these Cub fans grew up and then they passed it on to their kids and then they passed it on to their kids and they passed it on to their kids. It's just one of these trickle things. Um,
Interesting.
and Iowa doesn't obviously have a professional team. Um, and I think the Cubs AAA is in Iowa. But anyway, so that's why well, I remember when we got cable TV as a kid because of WGN, so we
Yeah,
could watch Harry Carey and Jack
yeah.
Brickhouse. And
And you
anyway,
were the remote control.
I was also the garage remotes as a kid. People don't know
Oh, right.
that.
Get out of the car and
Get
then
out of the car. It's like
yeah, open up the garage door.
and open up the garage door. People
Yeah.
what? Yeah, that people didn't all have garage door openers. People. Anyway, anyway.
And
So
now look at where we are. We got thousands of podcasts, whatever you want to listen to, whenever you want
yeah,
to listen to it. Thousands of
all your answers.
channels. Yeah,
All right. So
everything.
today we're going to talk about player discipline. Cubs have that lot of player discipline, even though they can't beat the Brewers right now.
Yeah,
But before we want to do that, we want to give a big shout out to Coaching Youth Hoops, first of all, right, Coach?
that's right. Yeah. Hey, now's the season, guys. Jump into coachingyouthhoops.com. Don't worry about don't spend the time, I should say, doing your own practice planning. We got it all done for you from A to Z, everything in between. Over 50 years of coaching experience between the two of us boiled down into practice plans K through 8, plus so many more free resources. Go check them out at coachingyouthhoops.com.
Everything you'll need. Go over and check it out. It is the
Yeah.
Menards or the Fleet Farm of basketball coaching. That's for
Or
all
the
the
Home
Midwest people.
Depot, I guess,
Home
yeah.
Depot,
Depending where you're, yeah.
Farm and Fleet Farm. You
Depending
know,
what part of the world you're from.
yeah, so let me explain for people listening. Farm and Fleet Farm are kind of like Walmart-ish, kind of. Anyway, and they're
Kind
two
of,
brothers that
yeah.
don't speak to each other, from what I understand. That's why one's Farm and Fleet, one's Fleet Farm. Little
Oh,
trivia for
interesting.
you.
There you go,
Yep,
trivia.
little trivia. Has a little bit of everything. And then we have some. We're gonna talk about your T-shirt today, right, Coach?
Yeah, yeah, we can talk about the t-shirt today. Got sideline savings. Go check it out, coaches. If you run a tournament, we want to talk. We're making ticketing and just the whole gate experience much better for you and your parents. We've built a loyalty program on top of ticketing to reward those parents who keep on showing up and spending money at your tournaments. We're making it super simple. Uh, Go check it out, sidelinesavings.com.
Yep. All right. So today we're going to talk about player discipline. What do you mean by that, Coach?
Well, this came up a lot in feedback from coaches, some of their struggles. How do how do you keep players, I guess, under, basketball is a lot of pressure, right? And sometimes it just gets to you, right? You could blow up, during a game, get mad at a ref, give them cross eyes, you not even say anything, but I speak a lot, your body language, right? Being having good sportsmanship, all of those little details that sports is supposed to teach you, right? Those life skills of controlling your emotions. And then also, what emotions don't you control? Right? Is it okay after a game to be excited and cheer, but then you see, the other kids crying on the other side? Do you take it out in the hallway and then get all excited, right? I've heard, different coaches have different philosophies on that as well. And what does it mean to be to have good sportsmanship?
Well, I think a lot of it is modeling. I have
Hmm.
learned this with time too. It's like if you want them to be calm in the storm, then you have to be relatively calm in the storm.
Yeah,
And if you're yelling at the officials and you're, not showing the greatest sportsmanship during the game, well, guess what they're going to do? You're modeling for them, especially as
that's
a
right.
youth coach. I think it's an important thing to model not only during the game, but like you said, pregame and postgame, and then outside in the waiting area and outside or at practice, all of those things. It's a stacked kind of thing that you can't expect them. You're yelling during practice and you're getting on them and you're getting on them when they're making mistakes, and then you're calmer in the game as well. You're sending them mixed messages too, I think. um I think it's got to be a multitude, like decide who you want to be and the model or the role model, quote unquote, that you want to be. Um, and that's I mean, personally at the youth level, technical fouls, if a kid gets a technical foul, I'm sitting them. They're done. And we're gonna have a discussion about it, but it's like there's got to you also have to, like, you miss curfew. You went out with your buddies and stayed out till 2 a.m. and you were supposed to be
Yeah,
home
that's
at
what you
midnight.
deal with at the high school level.
Right, but I'm just saying, I'm
Yeah.
just using that as an example. But I think you have to again model those kind of things. It's like it's no different than being a parent. If they're doing something, you gotta, like, there's got to be a consequence. It's not out of anger. It's out of
Yeah.
love. It's like this is what you got to do, and I think the players' eyes watch too. We have a automatic. If you get a technical on my team, you're out. Even doesn't matter any level I've coached, you're out. I'm pulling you
What do
out.
you mean out? Oh,
I'm
you're still
pulling
out of
you
the
out of the
game and you're
game. I'm
sitting.
pulling
Yeah.
you out of the game at that point. Now, there's different types of technicals. One for like slapping the board or blah, blah. Okay, that was maybe not deliberate or blah blah blah. There's also the technical, you go up and you start yelling at there's
Right.
levels. So that's why
Yeah.
I think you, as a coach, I want to keep that door open enough that there's levels of misbehaving that I'm going to sit you. We're going to talk. You shouldn't get. Here's why you shouldn't slap the board. Blah blah blah. Or for my guys, maybe dunking and warm ups, they should know better. But maybe they do it. It's at 10 o'clock. Okay, I'm going to pull you. You're not going to start. But we'll have a discussion. But there's different. I think that's where the role model as the coach comes into play. I don't know what you think.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, yeah, no, absolutely. But what about those? Are there gray areas of sportsmanship,
What
right?
do you
Are there
mean? There are, I
things,
think.
yeah, like, obviously, after a game, at least in basketball, still at the youth level, they're shaking hands and going down the line,
Right.
right? Obviously, the little, putting your hand out to the opponent because
The
this guy was in your
slap, the 30
face,
second
right?
slap. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's, things like that. It's helping. How about helping an opponent up that fell down in a game
Oh,
that
we
you're
automatically do that. And some of them don't want help. So
correct.
they'll push
That's
it
right.
away. And then I
Right.
tell them, it's like, well, that's no different. Some people don't want you to open a door for them. Like, that's
Right.
okay. You can offer.
Yeah.
Um, I was just at a
Hmm.
place, a woman had her small dog and she had a bag and she couldn't. So I grabbed the bag, I opened the door. I mean, it was just trying to be a nice human being to her. Uh,
Right.
and that's part of it too. It's like, yeah, you just followed somebody really hard. You followed, you say, I'm sorry, and you help them up. That's okay. Obviously we want to do that with our own teammates too, but yeah, I think there are those, but those, again, that goes back to discussion between coach and player, I think. What's the
Yeah.
difference? Yeah, of those.
Well, what about discipline? So, discipline is again, it has a spectrum of, for example, you missed, you know, let's keep it simple. You missed three layups in a row. Some coaches will discipline you for that. And then there's bad behavior discipline, right? You're not being nice, not being kind to
Right,
your
turning the ball over for
teammates.
me is you've turned it over too many times. That is a this there is different levels. Again, I'm talking about at a much higher level. Um,
Right. Well,
I don't
let's keep it, bring it down, right? It's
yeah,
like,
I don't think you want I mean, personally, I wouldn't discipline for mistakes. Now, I might pull you if it's I mean, if you dribble the ball up four straight times and get it stolen, I don't want you to I worry about your
mental state more
yes,
so.
your
Yeah.
confidence.
hmm Your
So
confidence. Yep.
so sometimes it's a pull out, have a discussion, then put right back in. Like, hey, here's what we should do. We should do this, this, and this. And I don't know if that's a discipline. I think that's more of a coaching thing. Um, I think it would really depend on the again situational. There's a little bit of a situational thing going
It's
on there.
perception though as well.
Yes,
From the kids may
and
see
the
that as, oh,
parents
I made this mistake, so now coach is disciplining
disciplining
me
me.
by having me sit, right?
Right, right,
And I think again, that's all about how you've handled previous situations,
right. Yes,
right?
yes,
So,
it's discussions about that too with parents. That's going back to something we talked about weeks ago about, how do you handle that preseason? How do you handle some of those discussions with parents? And here's how I'm going to do that. Um, you know, but again, I think there is a little bit of a gray area with some of these, and this is where you got to think teacher rather than coach in some respects,
yeah,
mentor
yeah, yeah,
rather
right.
than coach, adult rather than child. um,
Yeah.
and I think sometimes the competitive nature of coaches get in their way.
Well, I had a discussion with a coach the other day who, and again, what's discipline? He coaches girls. He just thought it was absolutely wrong for a girls to get their ear pierced within a certain amount of time between or before the season started because they have to wear they are
Can't
they
play
can't
with them.
take their
Yes,
ears out,
yes,
right? They can't
yes.
take the earrings out, right?
Explain
So I
that to
had
people.
this.
Explain that to non-girls coaches what you're talking
Yeah.
about, because
So
I know
yeah,
what you're
so when
talking
girls
about.
get
But
the ears pierced, right, they have to wear studs in them and then they can't take them out for 68 weeks.
or they'll
Okay.
close back up.
Or they'll close back up. That's exactly right. So,
I've had that on my team. So it's not just the girls. I've had that on my
oh
team.
wait, yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
you're right. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Boys too. Yeah.
that's how
So,
I know.
and
Yeah,
then, what they try to get away with is they put tape over the ears, and some refs will let that go at the youth level. Most will not, right? So they have to take their earrings out. And he says, well, why don't they do that in the off season? And I looked at him and I said, well, first off, when's the off season? When is the off season? If it
right.
happened in your AAU program that you run, you'd be having saying the same thing. So what he used to do, and this gets back to the discipline, is like you're out of the game. You're not playing at all. Your ears pierced. You're sitting on the bench. To me, that's discipline, right? Because it's a
And that's
consequence
a
to
bit
something that you
extreme because
did.
maybe they went with mom and got it was a big deal and they were getting their ear
Well,
pierced.
that's
And
what I
like you
told him. I
said,
said,
take
I said, they're girls. This is in case they were girls. He was teaching, right? He coaches girls. And I said, that's a big deal to young ladies. Like,
right.
there is a rite of passage. There's a time that a family says, when you're X age or when you do Y, you're going to get
And
your
their
ears pierced.
birthday is in November
Right. Yeah.
and they turn
So I said,
12
you
and
got
they
to
get
look
the
at that
whatever it is.
differently. Anyway,
I know.
the point of this was, you know, you can't discipline something like that.
No.
That,
That
like you said,
that's not a gray area to me. That's
yeah.
not a gray
Well,
area.
it goes back to what you said. It's like, come on, be realistic.
Yeah.
Think about it from that perspective, right? And, bad behavior, absolutely you discipline. And I think that as, you and I know, the number one thing to discipline with is playing time. You,
It's a Bobby Knight
right?
quote. The best teacher
Yeah.
is the bench.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or running, if it's happening, stuff is happening in practice. They're not paying attention. They're hitting one another, right? Pushing as young kids tend to do. You make them run,
Right.
right? Uh, I hate that. And that's kind of my last resort because it wastes practice time,
Very last resort. I agree.
but it's effective. It
It
can
is.
be quickly
Yep.
effective.
That is.
So,
All right. Anything else, Coach? I think that's good.
yeah, I mean, again, it's, you know your team, model the behavior that you want your kids to do, and just have a head on your shoulders and say, okay, is this, how should I discipline this? Is it even anything that we should be disciplined over? Um, you know, there's obvious things, yes, like you said, the youth level technical foul, you're sitting, if it's one where
Right.
trying to cause physical harm to someone. But no, coaches, go check out coachingyouthhoops.com now for all your coaching needs, and tell a friend about this podcast. All right, it's helping
Well,
thousands
we
of
haven't done
coaches
that in a long
around
time. If
the
you like the
world.
podcast, yeah, we haven't done this in a long
Yeah.
time. If you like the podcast, subscribe and like, share it with a friend. We would love that. That's why we could do this.
Yeah, again, our goal is to positively influence 1 million kids through the game of basketball. So we can only do that through you guys, through our
Yes.
listeners. So
Yeah.
we
And
really appreciate any sharing, liking,
any of that
five-starring
stuff.
you can do.
And we only have 948,362 more kids to go. There you
That's
go.
right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just made
Yeah.
that up. All right. Till next week, Coach.
All right. Till next week, Coach.
Hey, Coach, so glad you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and like before you leave. And also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's got everything and a roadmap for you to become a better basketball coach. So go over and check it out. And let's head back to the next video, wherever that would be.